Welcome back to Cap Kids Art Corner. My name is Devin, and I'm really excited to be speaking with you all again today. We are going to do a fun craft activity today, but first, as always, let's do a quick check-in with how we're feeling in our body. Let's sit up straight in our chair, or if you're on the floor, sit up straight. And we're actually, instead of doing a breathing technique first, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch. All right, because sometimes, especially like if we're stressed or having some heavy, big feelings, we tend to make ourselves small. So I want us to take up as much space as possible. So let's do a big stretch up. Maybe interlace your fingers and stretch, stretch, stretch. Pretend you're trying to reach to the ceiling. Okay. And we're going to bring our hands down. Twist your hands if you want while you're doing this. Okay. We're going to do the same forward. We're going to stretch forward, warm up our bodies to make art and to be calm. I'm going to stretch one arm this way. And we're going to stretch another arm this way. Very good. And last but not least, we're going to give ourselves a hug. You give yourselves a nice big hug. There we go. All right, awesome. So before we get into our art activity, I wanted to take a second to talk about sound. Now, hearing is one of the five senses. We've been linking kind of all of our activities and our coping skills back into the five senses because that's how we interact with the world. But sound can be used as a coping skill, but it can also be too much, and it can make us feel these big feelings like anger, frustration, or stress. There are certain noises for people that can upset them. If there's too much noise, it can be overwhelming, and we might feel like we need to use our coping skills. So let's talk for a second about how we can use sound to our benefit, how we can use sound as a strength and as a coping skill. So you might have noticed a theme in my videos about breathing. Breathing is important. We need to do it, and oftentimes we forget to do it. So what I want to teach you all today is how to use dragon breath. Now, how do dragons breathe? Do dragons breathe quietly? They don't breathe quietly. They make a lot of noise. They might breathe in quietly, but how do they breathe out? They breathe fire, right? Now, by paying attention to the noise that we make when we breathe, it helps us bring attention back to our breathing when we're distracted by other things or we're upset about other things. So let's for a minute pretend that we're dragons and we're breathing fire, okay? Oh, Georgie's making an appearance again. Hi, G. So we are going to take a deep breath and let's breathe fire. You can join me in using our arms. Right? So let's breathe in. Let's breathe fire. And let's do it one more time. Breathe in. And breathe fire. And we just learned dragon breath. Thank you guys so much for checking in with me today and for warming up our bodies, warming up our breathing, and getting ready to do our art activity today, which is also sort of related to noise and sound. We are going to make rain sticks today. And if you've ever seen a rain sticks are traditionally made from cactuses that are dried out, and then the needles in the cactuses are hammered in. So when you turn the completed rain stick over, the needles kind of come down and it makes a sound that's very similar to rain. I don't have any cactuses. I don't know how to make a real rain stick, but we're going to make our own crafty rain stick today. And to do that, you need a paper towel roll. You can also make a kind of mini one out of a toilet paper roll. You need any sort of kind of dry good. So I'm going to be using rice, but you can also use dried beans. You can use dry pasta, anything that's going to make a noise when you shake it. aluminum foil for the tips of the rain stick, glue or tape to secure it, and then anything that you want to decorate the rain stick. So I'm going to be using crayons, and I'm going to be using some string that I have around, but you can also use stickers, you can use paint, you can use glitter, anything like that that you have around to kind of decorate your rain stick. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those materials, and I'm going to check back in with you in just a minute. Thank you. Welcome back. Georgie, I think, decided he wanted to make rain sticks with us today. So he's going to be my assistant. He is kind of sleeping on the job right now. Let's make some rain sticks. The first thing you want to do is you want to take your paper towel tube. Like I said, you can also use a mini one with a toilet paper roll, or you can use the inside of an aluminum foil roll. So let's take a look. I still have aluminum foil, so I'm not going to do it. But this roll right here you can use as well. Okay? Stop. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your aluminum foil and you want to cut 2 pieces that will go on either end of your rain stick. Now, this project is something you can get kind of creative with, so if you don't have one of these materials, you can find kind of anything else that might work. So you can also use the bottom of a brown paper bag. You can probably use a piece of paper at the bottom as well. But it is important to seal off your rain stick so that when you pour the dry goods in there, it doesn't fall out. But because we haven't poured anything in there yet, we are only going to do one side of the rain stick first. So take our rain stick and let's see. Hey, Georgie. Okay. So we are going to fold this up so that it's nice and tight. Okay. Now this is another opportunity for you to get creative. If you have string that you want to use, you might decide to kind of decorate this part. I have some nice purple painter's tape, so I'm going to use that because I like the color. But you do not have to use painter's tape with this. You can use any kind of tape that you want. And so we are going to put enough tape around here so that we know that this is not going anywhere. And I feel like this is a situation where it's better to use too much than not enough, because we don't want to turn this upside down after the rice is in it and have rice go everywhere. We do not want that. So I'm going to put some extra tape on here. And there we go. We have our bottom of our rain stick. Okay. All right. So you might remember from our first video, we made sensory rice, right? We dyed the rice. Well, I got some extra rice that I'm not using, so we are going to use it for this activity. I'm a big fan of kind of like recycling projects. So I am stealing some sensory rice from my sensory bin, and I'm using it for this. So it's up to you how much you want. I don't really think you need much more than 1/2 of a cup of rice, maybe 3/4 of a cup. But as I said, you can also use other dry goods like pasta or beans, something like that, anything that's going to make noise. And we want to carefully pour it in. There we go. Okay. All right. And now that we have that, we want to seal it off with more aluminum foil. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We have our little square of aluminum foil here. We're not going to turn it upside down this time, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to work from the top. And we're going to fold this down. There we go. Okay. And tape it. Go. And it's better to use more tape or too much tape than not enough. So I'm going to throw a couple more pieces on here just to be safe. So once you are sure that you have it all kind of secured, let's test it out. Now, rain sticks, the best way to get the best noise is to move slowly, which for some of us might be a challenge to move slowly, especially with things that make noise. We might be kind of drawn to the idea of shaking it, but we're going to move it real slowly because that's the noise that we're going to get that's going to sound like rain. Okay, let's use our listening ears. There we go. How does that sound? There we go. So we have our rain stick, but I don't know about you. I kind of want to decorate mine a little bit. So I don't have a lot of markers, but I do have a lot of cool crayons. So I'm going to decorate this using crayons. I'm just going to draw some abstract images on here. Do you guys know what abstract is? Abstract art is things that don't really look like anything in the real world. Abstract art focuses on the use of lines, shapes, and colors instead of trying to get it to look like anything in particular. Okay, so I'm just taking some different colors. I'm adding some shapes on here. And if you have glitter, you might want to add some glitter. Or you can use paint on here. You just got to be patient while the paint dries, right? You can use markers. You can use colored pencils. And I just remembered I actually have some fun colored string. Right here, I'm going to grab that. I got some green string. So I'm just going to take a little bit and I'm going to tie it off at the end just to add some extra color and design on there. See that? Okay. I think Georgie's getting interested in this rain stick here. Okay. And here we go. This is our rain stick. Remember that you can use sound to your benefit. You can use sound as a coping skill. So if you're upset and you feel like listening to this might calm you down, you can do that. This is a great way to slow our body down because you don't get this great sound if you're going really fast, right? It's kind of noisy, it doesn't sound awesome, but when you slow down and you take a couple deep breaths, you get this really nice sound. So this can serve as a reminder for you to take a second, check in with yourself, calm down a little bit. I really enjoyed making this task. I hope you did too. As always, please email me if you have any questions, if you want to share your finished product. Also, keep in mind that Cap Kids Art Corner has an Instagram. You can find us on Instagram at Cap Kids Art Corner. And I hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Thank you.